Black women, you do not need another degree. This is a trap that I almost fell into, leaving my most recent toxic job because I've had a few. But in leaving that job, I almost fell into the trap of trying to get another master's degree. And I already have one master's degree. I already have a master's degree in social work. And I know this message will resonate with a lot of Black women because I've seen this happen over and over again. And that is trying to get another degree, another certification, more credentials, so that you'll finally, in hopes that you'll finally get the respect that you deserve in your profession. And it makes me so sad to say, and it hurts. But the truth is that respect will likely never come because they do not view you as a whole human being. They do not view you as someone who is worthy of respect. And no matter how many more letters you add to the back of your name, that respect will likely never come. And that is a harsh reality, but I think it's a reality that we should be prepared for. And it's a reality that we don't talk about enough, especially when it comes to young Black people entering into the professional world, the corporate world, which I really feel a calling to address because as a young Black person who was in these internships in the banking field to try to recruit diverse talent, and having been traumatized in so many of those internships, so many of those roles, being paired with hostile managers that did not want me there, I think it's imperative that we talk about this, in that no matter how many things you do, no matter how excellent you are, and in fact, the more degrees you have and the more certifications you have, you may encounter more hostility towards people who don't have that and who feel more insecure by working closely with you. Your brilliance, and I hesitate to use the word excellence because we're not on Black excellence over here at all, but your brilliance, your greatness, your influence intimidates people who don't have that. And the more knowledge that you gain with these degrees, with these certifications, it makes you even more of a threat, unfortunately, in a lot of these workplaces, because that insecurity gets triggered even more. And the need to oppress you and suppress what you're saying and question and invalidate your work and your contributions in order for someone else to feel bigger, that only becomes more heightened. And I think it's such an important thing that we need to talk more about. Having just come out of a very toxic work experience in social impact finance, where I had all the degrees. I literally had all the degrees that would make me a perfect candidate on paper for this role. My background is in banking. I have a degree in finance. I went back to graduate school for social work, and I concentrated in economic development. And I was working in economic development finance. Oh yeah, I also double majored in college in Black studies. So I have a deep rooting in the study of Black people, particularly in the United States, but also more broadly. So I had everything that would make me a perfect candidate for this role on paper, yet when I was put into, or rather when I was asked to take on this role, this additional role of leading a racial equity strategy, the manager who I was assigned to felt threatened by everything that I put forward. Every idea that I had that came from my knowledge base, my lived experience as a Black woman, she felt threatened by that. And so I know this is the case for a lot of Black women. Let me know if this resonates with you in the comments. And please, if you've gotten this far, please feel free to like, if you like it, subscribe and comment. I would love to see your comments below. But she felt threatened by that. She felt threatened by the knowledge that I had and the lived experience. And in fact, she tried to correct what I was doing in front of other people. She tried to correct the language that I was using as a Black woman with first the lived experience, which always needs to be put up to the forefront. Lived experience is so crucial. Lived experience that I have. On top of that, I have a grounding in Black studies. I have a degree in finance. It's laughable because I had all of these things, and I know that y'all can resonate with me. I was trying to get another master's degree. I was actively seeking out, I'm like, okay, I just have to get another degree because then, I won't be questioned. My work won't be questioned. I'll be able to finally look like I have the credentials to do this work, even though I already have all of them. And that's something I have been working on internally since I have left that toxic workplace, is realizing that I already have everything I need within me. I don't need to keep searching out stuff or seeking out stuff or getting someone else to validate me. Accruing more student debt, because that's a whole nother video. And it sets us up in a trap as Black women. We're constantly seeking. And unfortunately, it never comes. Because all we want is someone to say, you are amazing, you are talented, you are gifted, I am supporting you. And I am so thankful for your contributions to this organization. When you're in a hostile work environment, that is not a thing. That is not possible. And getting to that place of radical acceptance is so crucial. And it's something I want to continue to talk about, is how do we heal from this? We know that we're going through it. We know that we've survived it, but how do we heal? And I think one of the major parts of healing, and something I've learned from Dr. Ramani on YouTube, who talks all about narcissistic relationships, is radical acceptance that this is not going to change. A lot of us are in narcissistic relationships at work. And, my theory is Black people are in a narcissistic relationship with the United States as a whole. But yeah, just going into a job every day. And we know in the US, work takes up such a large part of our lives. But going into a job where you're constantly invalidated, you're over-talked, what you put forth is undermined. You get those passive-aggressive comments that slowly chip away at your self-esteem. A lot of this is narcissistic abuse, and specifically covert narcissistic abuse, which mimics or mirrors, rather, microaggressions, right? That term that we hear a lot. But how covert narcissistic abuse works is the stuff that you can't really pinpoint. It's the crazy making stuff. It's the stuff that you feel because your body feels things before it gets to your mind often, right? So we feel this sense of disrespect. But it's so undercover. It's not like I can write this down. It's not like I can record it, and out of context, it would display any sort of abuse happening. But I know what I feel. And you know what you feel. Thankfully, we have these internal alarm systems, right? That go off when we feel someone is disrespecting us, undermining us, abusing us in front of other people, and bystander effect is real when no one else says anything, but you feel it, and it makes you question, are you really experiencing what you know you're experiencing? And yes, you are. So I have a lot I would love to talk about on this channel. As I'm healing, I know a lot of us are either trying to exit a toxic work environment or are trying to heal from it, which is in the stage I'm in currently. But I just wanted to make this video to tell Black women, you do not need another degree. You do not need another certification. And with that, you know, Black women are the most educated group of people in the United States, but we know that the respect does not come once we have that. In fact, more hostility often comes. So I wanted to share that message to say you don't have to keep seeking things externally. You don't need external validation. Once you learn that radical acceptance, that people don't want to see you thrive often. People view you as a threat no matter what you do. And it's not your fault. And you deserve better. And sometimes that means completely leaving the work environment. Sometimes that means transferring, taking a different job in a different work environment, working for yourself. You have options, but you don't have to keep seeking that external validation. I hope that message resonated with you. If it did, please feel free to leave me a comment. And thank you so much for watching.